Hi, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here and you haven't been to my channel before, you haven't seen it before, I'm Sissin, life coach and motivation speaker, and this is a channel of spirituality, self-awareness, and self-discovery, as well as self-development, developing yourself with knowledge and understanding of the human condition. Okay, so today's topic is all about mindfulness and physical health, or health in general. And for those that are not new here, you've seen my channel before, welcome back. And yes, let's tackle this topic, mindfulness and physical health. So first, let's tackle what it means to be mindful. What does it mean to be mindful? Okay, according to the research around mindfulness, right, it's a practice of intentional paying attention to the present moment and awareness, curiosity and acceptance, rather than being lost in thoughts about your past or the future. It's all about the now. As its core, in its core, as a core meaning to mindfulness, it's about learning to observe your thoughts, live in the present. Your thoughts must be observed as well as your emotions and the sensations in your physical body. Mindfulness is about living in the now. It's about self-awareness and dealing with your emotions, understanding your emotions. Be present and grounded, connected to the present moments, using your attention. Now, unfortunately, because of trauma and other things that we go through in its life experience in the game, we, in most cases, are not living in the now all the time, because our minds are constantly going back and forth from the now to the past to the future. The past experience always come up and they pull us from the now moment. Now, self-awareness is very important to a healthy mind as well as a healthy body. Self-awareness allows you to make decisions in your life that are much more meaningful and much more healthier, because you are focusing the now. You're able to zone in and pay attention to your current feelings in your body. What are you feeling? With curiosity, you wonder and you feed it and feel into your current emotions you feel now in your body. Now, that's living in the now. And mental health and physical health depends on you living in the now, because of the fact that the now is the only moment where you can make a change. You can't make a change in the past or even in the future. So if you're constantly thinking about the past, there's nothing you can change about the past. And remember that your future is created in the now moment. A lot of people ask me on the lives that I have on TikTok, what's going to happen in the future? They want future readings. So I always tell them, you need to tap into the now first. Where are you now in the specific topic or regard to this topic you're asking about? People are asking about in the future, will I get that job? Will I meet my soulmate? Will I buy the property or house I want to buy? The question is now, at this moment, where are you now in terms of that question you're asking about? What are you currently doing or feeling or believing about that topic? The future is created in the now. So a lot of people are focusing on the past, but are very thinking or focusing or wanting to know what's happening in the future. They have anxiety about the future as well. You understand? Because of the fact they don't know what's going to happen, not understanding that the future is based on the now. So whatever you are doing now, wherever you are focused now, in the now moment, that's creating your future. Same as anything in any topic when it comes to health, like weight loss. Weight loss is a huge challenge for a lot of people, because weight loss is connected to your food, not only your movement. People think that I can go to the gym and I can lose weight. If you go to the gym, you are stretching your muscles, exercising your muscles. You are not triggering your hormone system to be balanced. You're not triggering your metabolism as much as if you focus on food. So it's all about 80% food. So if you want to change your body, your physical condition, and become more healthy, become more fit, or whatever, or sexy, whatever you want in life, you need to focus a lot on your food. And that takes mindfulness, a level of mindfulness. What am I eating? Now remember that food is very connected to culture, the way of life, the way we were brought up. Your Pacific culture normally dictates the type of food you are eating or consuming. In an African culture, especially in South Africa, it's about those high carbs, it's about the pups. It's, in most cases, lots of meat, a lot of meat, a lot of protein, and loads of protein, right? That's not processed properly in your body because your body needs to have a healthy biome. Your stomach must be able to absorb the nutrients from the food you eat. So if you have a messed up biology, a messed up biosystem in your stomach lining is messed up, you can eat loads of protein, loads of a lot of nutritious foods, but if you do not have a healthy biome, then you're wasting your time because it's not able to absorb all those nutrients. That's why a lot of people that are carnivore and eat a lot of meats, they still lack protein for some reason, but they're eating it every single day. And then misunderstanding that now the Western world has taken so-called clean meats. Those meats, for example, the top meats, the muscle meats, all those, they say that's got protein. Yes, it does. But the most purest proteins will be in the bone marrow, it'll be in the organs. You understand? Now remember, mindfulness is linked to information. You're living in the now, you're absorbing all this information by you going online, by you getting the research on what it is to be a healthy person. Mindfulness can also trigger you to make healthier decisions because now you are aware, you're living in the now. You're not living in the future or you're living in the past, living in the now. Now, as human beings, we have a problem. We have something called obesity. Obesity is a physical and health pandemic. It causes problems in our health when you're overeating foods. As I said, your foods are linked to your culture. If you come from African environment, it's all about the high carb foods, foods that trigger your insulin to spike. And when your insulin is high, you're not able to actually trigger the fat burning mechanisms that your body has naturally. But because you are eating high carb in the morning, a typical in a maybe a middle class family in South Africa will be a cereal, right? And they go for that quick instant cereal. In a rural family, it'll be a pap from yesterday's food. Yesterday's pap we had for supper, we'll have for breakfast. You understand? And now, as soon as you start eating in the morning, you start triggering your insulin. Or else, if you're in a middle class, upper mobile class, you have a lot of eggs, you'll have a lot of bacon because you can afford it. You understand? Again, where is protein? It also stops your body from also triggering the fat burning mechanism in your body. And it's also the fact that you just got up in the morning, your body needs to be hydrated, and you're filling it with fried protein, fried eggs, fried bacon, full of salts. It's actually draining the hydration out of your body instead of putting it into your body. Now, it's all about mindfulness. Be mindful of what you put in your mouth because what you put in your mouth can actually add to your health or take away from your health in the name of culture. No, it's my culture system to eat like that. We eat loads of meat because we're African. You understand? Then you look at why we have obesity and why is the amount of cancer rising in Africa because of the fact of the foods we're eating. Africa, as I say, Dr. CB had mentioned before that Africa is living on on blood and pap, because blood is from the meat, you understand, and in pap is the maize meal that we're eating in the southern parts of Africa, and other parts of Africa as well also use maize as a staple. If it's not maize, it's rice. Now rice is also from Asia, from India. A lot, they eat a lot of rice is also something that triggers your insulin. And then we have foods that are not hydrational as well. It's all about mindfulness. Your health is based on your mindfulness. How mindful are you of what you're putting on your mouth each day? It's very important. Hi, sweetie pies. Thank you for joining my live. Flame, how are you doing, my life? I hope you're doing well. So today we're talking about mindfulness and health. And if you are interested in these type of topics, my channel is about self-awareness, self-development, spirituality as well. I speak about spiritual topics here as well. But if you are aligned to this type of topics, consider subscribing and joining my growing community. Right? I know my numbers are small, but gradually we will grow. And that's how it is in life, right? It's all about focus, and focus is everything, and being mindful. Now, mindfulness is linked to your health, understanding what are my practices, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis. So let's go more into mindfulness. Right, as I said, in its core, mindfulness is all about learning to observe your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical sensations. As I said before, most of the food that we eat is based on our culture. Your cultural practices, like for example, on Sundays, we eat a certain type of food. It's a memory, it's an emotional sensation and physical sensation. Oh, when we were younger, we used to gather on a morning and we used to have these certain meals with my family. Then you get attached to that food because it has an emotional trigger. Okay, so it's Christmas, we have turkey, we have all its Christmas delights. It's emotional trigger. You understand? It's a remembrance. That's why I'm saying that it's also linked to the cultures that we also practice. For example, in Indian homes, their food is very spicy and oily in most cases, okay? So they suffer from a lot of high blood pressure in their communities because it's a pandemic linked to the food, what they're eating, and they're not being mindful as well that this food is really not healthy. Same as with the African culture. And now we go to the American culture. It's all about fast foods, about eating Big Macs. The larger, the better. Big cool drinks. The larger, the better. Not thinking mindfully. Is this food something that's adding to me or taking from me? So, as I said before, that food, your intake of food is linked to your body increasing the size or staying healthy. So it's actually about your weight gain and also the physical health of the body, how your arteries are working and how your heart is pumping the blood around and stuff like that. Now remember, in the food is the little what they call it, nutrients, the micronutrients like the vitamins, like iron and magnesium and calcium and all those things. They're all in the food. And if your body is not healthy, your biome, your stomach lining is not healthy, as I said early on, you're not able to absorb it. Where are you from? Okay, I'm from South Africa, Lavi. I'm from the southern parts of Africa, South Africa. That's where I'm from, my love. Where are you from, Flame? Because you new here to my channel. Where are you from? Which country are you from? Okay, but then let me continue while I wait for your response. So it's all about you being mindful of what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, because most of your health, 80% of your health is based on your nutrients that you give in your body. And then we have the psychological health, which is based again also on how healthy your food is as well, because your mental health is also affected by the food you're consuming. And as I said, in Africa, we have a problem with obesity, and in certain parts of Africa, the obesity rates are rising. More than half of the adults in South Africa suffer from obesity. Okay, according to WHO, the World Health Organization's data, about 30.8% of adults in South Africa are living with obesity. Now we have this culture of, how would I say, a culture of not calling a person overweight or fat, who that person's thick, who that person is plump, who that person is, um, how would I say, just beautiful and plumpy. Not understanding that now we have actually lost the fact that if you're eating, overeating, and you um your height and your weights determines your obesity level calculations, and when your body is not healthy, it's not able to operate properly, it's not able to allow your heart to function, you start now getting different sicknesses caused by the modern way of eating. The American way of eating is now also being adapted in Africa as well, and in Asia and all other countries, causing obesity to even rise up. Even Japan and China, all those other countries that are, they are known to be smaller in size, but they're also having a problem because the Western way of living and eating is also crept in that way. In a place where they have loads of seafood, loads of watery vegetables and soups and stuff like that, right? Now remember that your food is also dictated by your environment. You understand? If, like, for example, in the tropical countries, there'll be more fruits are available to eat, and there's more fish because most of the tropical countries are near the seas. So people have more fish and stuff like that, right? And the more you move inland, where there's more cattle and stuff like that, then there's more eating of meats. Now remember that there's no right or wrong way of eating. There's only a way that's more optimal for your health. Now, every single person is different. What may work for you doesn't work for me. That's how it works because our bodies are different. Our systems are different. Even in one country, you can find that a certain type of people like a lot of meat, certain type of people prefer not to eat meat at all. Some will prefer to add meat with fish, whatever, you understand. But the people are not living mindfully, so they're not focusing on, does this health where I'm eating add to my health? Is my health being affected positively by these choices I'm making, or are they affected negatively by the choices I'm making? Now, you can only ask that question when you are mindful. And what's triggering me to overeat? Being mindful. You need to be mindful. So mindfulness is a practice and any person can learn. Mindfulness is just being aware of where you are at any moment of time and what you are doing at this time. A lot of people will be eating while they're driving. Now, your food or your eating of your food should be something that's like a ritual you do. You sit down, you relax, you focus on the food. You focus on the taste of the food going in your mouth. You focus on how the food affects your body because you are focused, you're being mindful. But if you're driving and you've got chunks of chips and takeaways and you're eating and you're driving, you're not focusing, you're not being mindful. You understand? So that's why I'm saying that mindfulness is linked to your health. When you go and you take a cigarette and you light it and you smoke it, are you being mindful? Because there's a reason why you're smoking and putting toxins in your body. Are you aware that smoking is making your body sick? What is the purpose of you doing it? You need to be mindful to be able to ask those questions. You look around and you see a community, there's a lot of people that are smoking and they're unhealthy. Some people are suffering from cancers because of years of being not mindful of what they're eating. It's important. How are you, sweetie pie? I hope you're doing well. Johan Pieterse. I know you're from South Africa. That's a South African name. Johan Pieterse. Thank you for joining my live. I'm Sissin, life coach and motivational speaker, and I am based in South Africa. That's why I know your name is very familiar, South African. Right, anyway, thank you for joining my live. Today we're talking about mindfulness and health. Being mindful of what you're eating and what you're putting in your body, basically, because eating is a way of you nourishing your body. Eating is not a pastime or a hobby. It's a way of nourishing your body. Now, as I said earlier on, obesity numbers in Southern Africa, per se, is increasing because people are not being mindful of what they're eating. You're driving and you're eating. You're watching TV and you're eating. You're not being mindful because your focus is on the movie or the program or whatever you're watching and not on the food. You're not chewing your food well, because number one, you're watching the movie. So you cannot be eating, you're watching movies. Some of us are eating and driving. You understand? That's not being mindful. That's why the numbers of obesity go up, because people didn't eat and don't feel they've eaten because they are not focusing on the meal itself. You understand? They're not focusing on the meal itself. They're focusing on where they what they go to, what they're doing when they're driving, or what they are watching. That's not being mindful. Now, your mindfulness is linked to your health, as I said, right? And as I said, that your food plays a big part in your overall health, both physically and mentally, because the food that you are eating affects your mental state as well. It's been proven, because the food is all chemicals in your body. It breaks down, releases a certain type of chemicals. Certain foods make you depressed. Like if you overeat junk food, you're always drinking Coke and you're not drinking water. You're always eating McDonald's, or you're always eating KFC or chicken licken, and you're not eating healthy food. All those foods have been killed, fried to death. And they use recycled oils, and you go and you buy those foods and you eat, and you wonder why you're getting sick all the time. And remember that the body is a strong mechanism. A body is very strong. It can take a lot of abuse for a very long time. But as it's deteriorating and you keep on abusing your body and your mind, because you're doing exactly that by you not eating healthy foods and not being mindful of what you're eating, you're destroying your mind as well, because the food you're eating also affects your brain big time. I mean, this is all scientific. If you want to get more information, go and do your own research. It's very important to be mindful of what you're putting in your mouth. And I'm hearing some people say, what about the cost? Some people can't afford expensive food. Now, healthy food doesn't have to be expensive. If you go and you're spending maybe a week, you're spending about 1,500 on buying Nando's, or in South Africa, that's one of our chicken outlets for those who are not familiar with Nando's. Then we have a Chicken Licken, is another chicken outlet. Then we have KFC, which is also another chicken outlets, are the most biggest chicken outlets. Okay, so a lot of people in South Africa prefer not to cook, so they spend money buying these foods, these highly processed, highly fried, dead food, and they eat it, because you are filling your body, your stomach just to get food, but you're not adding health and wealth into your body. You're not adding life into your body. So if you say that it's too expensive to eat healthy, it's not expensive at all. All you need to do, eating healthy, is buy your chicken. If you prefer chicken, buy your chicken and then prepare it at home, cook it very well, instead of you frying it with all these recycled oils, because that's what they use in these restaurants. You see, these fast food outlets and stuff like that, right? And then also as well, if you compare good vegetables like spinach and good potatoes and tomatoes and stuff like that, and cabbage and all the other kale and all the good vegetables, buy them and steam them. Don't overcook them. Steam them and put a minimum amount of oils instead of you greasing your food. Now again, it takes mindfulness. It takes mindfulness for you to move your body and your habits to something more healthier. You understand? So I'm saying that your health is connected to your mindfulness. How are you mindful about your life experience? It's all about that, right? Now let's go back to this. Self-awareness is important. So self-awareness you can practice every single day. Learn how to focus on the now instead of you living in the past. Right? You're living in the past. You remember the time that you used to eat what's it? KFC. Then was called KFC. Just recently they started calling it it used to be called Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yes, that was your own name. Now it's called KFC, because it's not really the same thing right now. If you have an experience of every Sunday with my family, we went to buy Kentucky Fried Chicken when we were younger, you get kind of addicted to it, because it has an emotional feeling attached to the experience of eating that type of food or going with your family, because that's how we are. We are family orientated. We move in tribes. And our life is based on what the tribe is doing, what the tribe is practicing. A simple thing: you were born in the farms, in the rural areas, and we ate a lot of like pap. On in the morning we had pap, or we ate yesterday's cooked pap. Now there's pap porridge, and there's pap cooked pap, and there's pap porridge. Now remember, that's maize meal. So is that healthy for you? Okay, when you were a child, you had no choice because you're living with your parents. But then we tend to do the same thing with our children, understanding, knowing that there's other options than having something more healthier, because there's no proper nutrients in that food except for high carb value of the pap. But the nutrients itself are like zero or nil, right? So you're not finding anything good in there. And yet you feed it to your children because this is how we eat, it's our culture. Every morning you're making pap porridge, right? You're giving your children pap porridge. You might as well give them a good meal of vegetables. But then because it's not what you know, it's not what you are familiar with. Yes, I can understand you are Afrikaans. Is it Peter, Johan Peter? Yes, you're Afrikaans. That's why I understand. But anyway, my lovely, welcome to my channel. I hope you can understand a bit of English because I don't speak Afrikaans. I hope you would consider subscribing to my channel to support my channel. My name is Cecian. I'm a life coach and motivational speaker, and I'm based in Durban at this moment. Actually born and bred in Durban, but I've worked in Johannesburg as well. Right, so if you are interested in this type of topics of wellness, self-development, self-discovery, and spirituality, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you in my community. You know, the whole world is just based on us trying to connect with each other, regardless of our culture and our races, wherever we come from, because beneath it all, beneath this meat set that we live in, this body we live in, right, and this identity we hold as I am this, I am African, I am what, we are just souls having a human experience. We're an expression from God. Right, so on my channel, I wake up, I welcome every single person, no matter where you come from, which background you come from, because we all have one thing in common. We all want love, we all want to develop, we all want to grow, we all want acceptance. We want to be accepted by people around us. We want the world to be a better place, right? So my channel is about making the world a better place, but also focusing on yourself. Make a change within yourself and understand, how can I contribute to the world in a positive way to make the world a better place? I have to make myself a better person. I have to take ownership of my own choices in life. I need to be more mindful of what I'm saying to people and what I am also saying within myself about people and about myself. How can I make my life better? You understand? Don't let politics allow you to be divided from other people because of whatever happened in the past, whatever. But as I said, that mindfulness is about the present. We cannot go back to the past and change anything. And we cannot go to the future and change anything. We need to be in the now so we can change the future. Basically, to change the future of this world for our children and also for ourselves as well. Because so long as you're living here, you have a chance to make the world a better place by starting to change yourself first. Change is something within you that you can do different, where you can see people differently and have more empathy and compassion for people as well. So let me continue. And by the way, my channel is not religious, it's spiritual. So people from different religions also are welcome as well, because it's interesting to learn about different people's different spiritual or religious practices and beliefs as well. Because I speak a lot about that as well on this channel. Now, let me go back. Right now, mindfulness is linked to your emotional stability. So when you are mindful, your emotional stability becomes expanded, right? So a method that I use is meditation. Not a long time. Don't make it too complicated, right? A lot of people feel that meditation is something about not thinking. You mustn't think. No, meditation is about watching your thoughts. It's about you breathing in and breathing out and consciously being aware. Thank you, Johan Petersa, 6360. Thank you for joining my community and welcome. Hope you will have a good time here, right? Learning and seeing different topics I speak about as well on my channel. Thank you so much, my lovey. I do appreciate it. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it, and welcome to my channel. And then Zolek here. Musa, how are you, my love? You'll be doing well. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and please consider if you're interested in subscribing to my channel. My channel is all about self-awareness, self-development, and spirituality. Everybody's welcome here. I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, right? So firstly, we respect each other here. We are very have too much empathy for each other here on this channel, and we understand that we're all human. However, above all, we are spirits having a human experience. There's no right and wrong or way of living. There's only a way of living which we choose is love and compassion for other people. So you've got to be courteous on my channel. You got to be respectful on my channel because I respect every single person. And I am hoping that I'm attracting people that are like-minded into my channel as well. Okay. So your opinion is very, very valuable. So if you have any opinions or anything you need to say about any topic I'm talking about, please feel free to voice your opinion. Right? This is a safe space. Here, we don't criticize people. We don't have criticism here. We don't have hate speech here. We don't have all these negative things because we need to make the world a better place. But we need to start with ourselves by us making ourselves better people, by taking ownership, being more mindful of how we're living and how we're treating people and how we're speaking to other people. There's no perfect person. There's no perfect person. Yeah, we choose love. Yeah, we choose peace. Yeah, we choose unity to make the world a better place. It's not about criticizing other people's religions and their opinions. It's about embracing them. You don't like what I believe, it's fine as well. You just go ahead and go your way and I'll go my way. You understand? I listen to you and I take in what you say, and then I decide, okay, I do agree with what you say, or I don't agree, but I will never be disrespectful to you because that is not love. That is not what the character Yeshua or Jesus taught. You understand? I'm coming from a Christian background. So Christian values are parts of my upbringing. However, they're parts of judging other people and telling them they're going to hell and all those things because they're choosing to live their way, the way they want to live. I will not criticize you. I will not condemn any person's opinion on my channel. Right? Everybody's free. Just be very courteous and respectful to others so that you can also get the same respect as well. Now, mindfulness and health. Mindfulness is very important because it allows us to live in the now, right? So when you are practicing meditation, for example, in the morning, you drop into your body, you feel your body, you are mindful of your body. You are mindful that you are alive, you're awake, and you're getting yourself ready for the day, right? So on my channel, I always speak about a morning practice and an evening practice. Now, remember, when you could do this every single day, it tends to affect how you are during the day. When it becomes a habit to focus and zone into yourself and thank God, the creator, whatever you believe in for where you are at this moment, you live with intention and say, thank you for this day. I'm awake and I'm ready to start this beautiful day. Thank you for the sleep I had. Thank you for the bed that I slept on. Thank you for the food I'm about to eat. Right? So meditation is normally done before you go and start your day activities. In the morning, you get up and you say a prayer. You say thank you, Source, thank you, God, thank you, Jesus, whatever you believe in. And you say, I'm ready for this day. I'm thankful for the sleep and I'm thankful for all the people in my life. Every single person in my life has added value in my life, even if they've challenged me, even if they disagreed in my beliefs, but they still have value in my life. They have taught me something about the world, that we're all not the same. So when you have a disagreement with somebody, guys, be mindful about why you're having a disagreement. This person has a different opinion to you. This person has a different worldview. So his or her opinion is going to be different. It's okay. Just accept it, be mindful, ask Jesus to instill peace within you. When somebody is triggering you and makes you upset, there's a belief that or challenging that you a belief that you believe in so much in your life, and that thing makes you so upset. Now remember one thing, that every single person has a right to have their own opinions. This is the reason why there's so many wars and so much violence in this world, is if we don't understand that every single person has a different worldview. So when somebody says something and you get triggered, ask yourself, why am I so uncomfortable with what that person said? Why am I so uncomfortable with what that person said? And I'm so angry because that person has challenged a viewpoint, a worldview you have, a belief you have about that specific topic they were talking about. Now, remember, that doesn't make the person your enemy. Now, I know that people like uh, um, to be able to say this is my enemy. You don't have no enemies. Every single person is here for a certain reason in your life. You got to live with mindfulness. Don't just be triggered to respond. Ask yourself, why am I getting so angry? Why do I feel this uncomfortable feeling like I want to lash out and tell this person where to get off? Understand that that person has a right to say what they feel, right? It doesn't mean that they're trying to get you to be violent. You choose to be violent. You choose to be angry. Now, mindfulness also teaches you to take ownership of your emotions. So as you're meditating and you're doing a mindful practice in the morning, you do your prayer, right? You're learning about your thoughts as well, because when you're meditating and you're breathing in and breathing out, there's many ways to meditate. You put music if that is effective for you, where you can calm down your nervous system, then you're able to watch your thoughts. Now, normally, everything that happened before you sleep will pop up now. The thoughts of whatever happened before you slept or yesterday. Now that's living in the past. Now you have to pull yourself back into the now, and you tell yourself that I'm here now. The past is the past, and I'll let that go. I had arguments with my friend at work and everything like that, right? But I'm letting it go now because I'm living in the now. That's mindfulness. Meditation is so important for the human health and mental stability, because you're able to tap into your core thoughts and ask yourself with curiosity, why am I still holding on to that thought? Because that thought had an emotional trigger within you yesterday. And now you get up in the morning and now you find I'm still angry. It's going in my mind and all those emotions are coming up again. You need to calm yourself down because that's in the past. Now you're living in the past. So mindful practice, first thing in the morning, meditation, allows you to ground into the now, where you are now. What happened yesterday, the arguments you had with your neighbor, the arguments you had with your colleague or your subordinates that report to you, it means nothing today because that's the past. But most of us living in the past, so it means a lot to us because we hold grudges. We don't let go. We hold a lot of emotional prisoners right now. I've moved from physical health now to mental health, right? Now remember that what you eat, it can also affect how you see the world. Right. So your mental health is connected to the food you're eating as well. If you're eating junk and eating processed foods that are dead, made in a lab, and too much salt and too much stimulants, too much of all these sauces and everything. And most of us don't even understand or know what ingredients are put in that food we're eating. But if you cook at home and you have a wholesome meal, you understand, okay, I didn't do so well. I put this tomorrow. I will try something different. The same recipe, I will add maybe salt and pepper. Maybe I need basil, seasoning, whatever. But when you're in a restaurant, you're eating out all the time. You have no control of that. Right now, that's not living mindfully. Living mindfully is knowing what you put in your mouth. And what you put in your mouth is going to affect you physically and also on the mental capacity. And mental health is so important now at this time in 2026, with all these things happening, especially in South Africa, xenophobia and all those things. You know what I mean? Xenophobia, guys, as I mentioned last week, is based on hate. Not hate because you're lacking. So what it happens is that it's about you living unconsciously. You're not living in a mindful way of living, looking at somebody else to blame for your current situation you find yourself in. And you start hating that person because you don't understand that person has nothing to do with your way of living. Xenophobia is based on hating foreigners, people from other countries, people you don't understand their culture, you don't understand why they're here and what brought them into your country. And yet, migration is an international thing. People move around the world all the time. We've been doing it from the beginning of time. Before even borders were put about, we traveled, we were migrants, we moved around a lot. You understand? This whole idea of living in one house, living in one place for all your life is something quite new compared to how it was in the past. We moved around a lot and there was nobody saying, oh, you a foreigner, you that and that. Now the modern system has caused that problem. Now, with capitalism, it also introduced lack and poverty because capitalism is about the rich getting richer and the poorer getting poorer, that gap getting wider and wider. You understand? Poor people don't understand how to get to the level. And then things like crime, oh, I need to get that thing, and then you use crime. So it's what they call looting, but you're stealing. That's a crime. That's part of what happens in South Africa, but it's called, they are looting, but actually stealing. They're criminals because they're desperate. So, with poverty, crime will increase as well. No matter what background you're from, you blue or pink or white, it affects us all the same way. When you are desperate, you will do something which is a criminal act. You understand? So it's not like only for black people or only for white people. No, we all spirits having human experience. And human experience is all the same. We need safety. And poverty makes you feel unsafe, which triggers things like xenophobia and all those things, and crime. When people decide, I'm going to go and rob that shop, that person's not doing it because they're happy about doing it. Because it's a risk. They're risking their lives. I'm going to rob that shop. What if I get caught? What if I go to jail? What if I get shot? You understand? However, the lack and the poverty is so much stronger, they'll be willing to take the risk. They're willing to take that risk. I mean, if you see every single person is doing it, I'm not going alone now. We're all going to steal or loot. You understand? Because, okay, I don't have the thing. This is my chance to go take it now because there's chaos and everything and it causes looting. Again, that's not living mindfully. But you cannot live mindfully if you're living in poverty, in your mind and in your physical world. Now, remember that I always make a distinction between povertized in the mind and povertized in the physical world. Now, when it comes to metaphysics, we create everything in our mind first. Okay, so you might be born in a poor home. You're born in a shack somewhere, undeveloped area, or povertized a rural area, right? You were a child, you never have the choice. You were born there because that was a soul level agreement that was made. So you're born there. But as you become an adult, then you start now having the ability to make your own choices. Now you decide, okay, I am born in this place, but I can get myself out of this place. I can now work myself out. Slowly but gradually, I get my degree. First, I get my matric, then I get my degree, then I get a job or a greater job. I open a business of my own. I start employing other people and giving them opportunities, right? Now I'm rising myself out of the situation I was born into. You understand? A lot of people don't see the possibility because number one, they choose to accept their situation as this is it. I'm just somebody who's going to take from other people or I'm going to wait for handouts. You understand? Now, fortunately, not every single black person in Africa in general thinks like that. Most of us think about moving up, how I can make my life better. Yes, I was born in poverty, born in a single parent's home. I was an orphan, but I can work myself up out of the situation, up in society. I can make my life better. That's what you came here for. But unfortunately, there's a large amount of people that didn't come for that expansion. They came here to take from other people, to blame people for everything that's in their lives, for their own conditioning, right? Now, then they become desperate and they do crime and all those things. On the way out, I will reject education. I'll just do the fast way, easy way out. I will just go and steal. And I'll become somebody who is not adding anything into this world. Now, mindfulness. So if you are interested in mindfulness, right, sweetie pies, go ahead and Google about how to be mindful about your life, the practices you can practice. Because in my channel, I know I'm attracting people that are all self-aware and are wanting development and expansion in their life. So self-awareness, you can use meditation. Okay. Then understand that you can also learn how to eat mindfully. That's another thing. A lot of people are not eating mindfully. They eat because they're hungry and they're understanding that not all food is equal. If you take a food from a takeaway, Nando's, whatever, it's not equal to you cooking the chicken and those vegetables. It's not equal to you, choosing that role that you want to choose. You will just get the role that they're going to give you. You understand? So there's many ways of eating. There's the healthy way and there's unhealthy way. There's you can eat meat and less vegetables. You can eat more vegetables or less and meat. A little bit of meat or protein as a core. And people don't understand that protein is in everything. It's even in vegetables. There's a bit of protein. That's why there's animal protein and there's um, veggie protein. And the human body doesn't need loads of protein because originally our blueprint was fruits. Originally, it was fruit before we changed and evolved and dumbed ourselves down and started eating a lot of animal. And then the business of the meat market grew in the capitalist system and stuff like that. Then people stopped farming their own animals and they depend on certain businesses to start doing it. And I remember that a home farm and a business farm rearing animals is two different things. Number one, this is a commodity. It's a business. We're making money here. We don't care about the well-being of these animals. We don't care. All we want is money. The home farming system was basically your animals were part of your family. You nurture them, you treated them humanely. Even if you sold some of the cattle, or even if you slaughtered once or twice a year, but you still cared for those animals. You had that one-on-one touch with them. They were not a commodity. Now we move from that wholesome system to the system that we have now. You understand the maltreatments of animals. That's why I left eating meat, and I'm now a vegetarian, borderline vegan, borderline raw vegan kind of thing. So I'm kind of experimenting. You see, life is about experimentation. Life is about figuring out what works for you. So if you think that okay, meat is the only thing that works for you, that's fine enough. That's your choice. If you want to say, well, I want to add more vegetables and fruits, I want to explore this whole vegetarian thing without calling myself a vegetarian, all you need is just add more vegetables on your plate, eat more portions of fruits during the day. It's nothing big. Don't have to call yourself a vegetarian. Just say I'm gonna add more vegetables and fruits in my on my plate. What's the portion of meat I should be eating? Now most of us have huge amounts of meat and then a little bit of the nutrients. Now remember, the meat only has the so-called protein, as I say, and your body's not even capable of absorbing all that protein that's in that meat because your body is compromised. Your biome, your stomach lining is not healthy because you drink too much alcohol, you drink too much Coke, you're eating junk food all the time, you're not eating healthy living food. And now your biome is messed up. Your parents never even feed you healthy food. So the foundations are really not good at all. People go to the toilet once a week, once every 3 days, once every 4 days, which is shocking. Now, if you are eating 3 meals a day because you are feeding the commercial system, because the system says you must eat 3 meals a day and have snacks in between. That's not healthy. Your insulin is up continuously, and insulin being raised causes your body to be unhealthy. Now, how do I know all this information? Because I was mindful enough to go do the research and understand how does my body work in relation with food. What is macros? What is protein? What is all these things? These nutrients? What is magnesium? My body needs magnesium. What is it? It needs calcium. What is calcium? Don't depend on the doctor to do the research for you. You got to live mindfully. The doctor got so many clients, so many patients. He's not worried about you specifically and your health. So people leave it to the doctor who's going to give you a pill to heal the symptom of your problem that you're having. I'm constipated constantly. I'm eating 3 times a day. I'm eating vegetables, whatever you're eating. I'm eating too much meat. I'm eating so-called balanced meal, but I'm not able to go to the toilet every day. And yet I am consuming food 3 times a day with snacks in between. That's an imbalance. You should ask yourself why. What can I do Then go and do the research. Guys, I'm coming from the same system. I was brought up in a place where this type of information was not easily available. My parents had no idea about nutrition and health. And most of my adult years, I didn't know, my early adult years, that whole constipation story. Why am I always constipated? You need more water, right? And then I wasn't drinking enough water and all those things. These are the things that causes a problem. Too much fiber can make you constipated. Too little can make you constipated. You must find a middle part. You need to drink water according to your height and your weight. This whole thing of I must drink 8 glasses, that's just a basic foundation. Then you learn, okay, I need to drink water according to my weight and my height. Oh, that makes more sense because every single person needs different amounts of water. So these are the things that you learn when you become mindful of your life and the habits and the choices you make in your life. Mindfulness is something you can learn. It's about slowing yourself down. It's about meditating. It's about asking yourself, why do I feel a certain way? Why is the certain thing happening in my life? You can also use journaling to be more mindful as well. Write down your feelings. Okay, why am I always getting angry? I always argue with this one guy in the office. Oh, I just can't stand this person. You're not supposed to hate people here. It's not normal for us to hate people. Hate is not a normal feeling. Hate is a feeling of separation. You understand? Oh, look at Trump. He hates certain nations because the system is based on separation. You don't hate people here. You're not supposed to hate people. This is a place where we need each other. Each single person, every culture, every nation in this world has something to add to make the world a better place. So if we keep on hating and looking for differences, number one, war is economically based. War is all about money. America makes money in war. That's why America changed the Department of Defense to a Department of War, because war is where the money is coming from. America's been making money with war, sending and selling weapons up and down. Same as you in your ordinary lower level in your mundane life. If you have people you hate, ask yourself why. Because hate is something that's so far from God, so far from love. So we all might be practicing different religions, but we're all wanting love and peace, right? So why can't we give people love and peace? Why are we looking for enemies? Why are we hating people? You got to ask yourself that. Living in peace is also living in peace with yourself and others. So if you hate people, that means you're not in peace with yourself, guys, and becomes a problem. That's another thing of living mindfully. Understand that you are responsible for your life experience, not the person next door, not your neighbor, not that certain culture that you don't like with a group of people you seem to not like. You can't blame people for your own choices. And now we have pandemics like xenophobia because people are not taking ownership of their life experience because they choose to look for somebody to blame, somebody to hate. It's a sad state of affairs. We need to understand being mindful is about taking ownership of your life experience. So living mindfully is assessing every part of your life. May it be your finances, may it be your physical health, may it be your relationships, maybe even your workspace where you're working. Are you getting along with people? Are you being open and friendly? Or people seeing you as a safe space? You understand? Especially if you even managing people. Do people see you as a safe space? Or even better, does your spouse see you as a safe space? Now, remember that you cannot switch off and on. If you somebody that's hateful, somebody who has enemies, somebody who is aggressive, then you're going to be like that in a workspace and probably even at home. And you're teaching your children to be aggressive in the old apartheid time, right? It was such a deep entrenched system that even the white population were told to hate black people. They're different to you, they're lower than you, all those things, that kind of thing. And the world is not a better place because of that. This happened in Haiti. Same story. It happened everywhere, even in America, where the Americans saw the black people as lesser. Today, you look at the world, it looks like it's so balanced, but the world was not always like that. You understand? Because of the fact that that type of system of hate was actually supported by political systems. It was a way of living, same as how apartheid was a way of living. You understand? And the past has affected the now. And if we don't fix the now, it's going to affect our future as well. You understand? It's very important to understand that whatever you're choosing now in your life is going to either affect your future negatively or positively. Living mindfully is saying, and what am I practicing now? What is my belief system now? What am I believing about everything, about food, about people, about the world, that can make the world a better place, or is it going to make the world a worse place? You understand? Taking ownership is very important. Okay, now be present and grounded each day. Morning, you do your morning practice before you start your day. You thank God or Jesus or whatever you believe in. If you're Muslim, Allah, whatever, you thank Source, right? And you say that I'm ready for the day. You open yourself to love and light and safety. May I be safe today. May every single person in my life be safe today. Then you go, you have your breakfast. If you eat breakfast, and then you, because you already had your bath and stuff. Like some people do the morning practice before they bath, or even after they bath, or have a quick shower, and then they do the morning practice. But you need to have your own routine. And your routine must make sense to your lifestyle and your time that you have. What time you get up in the morning? When do you start your day at work or at school, whatever you're doing, or your business? You must have like that schedule, right? A lot of people start their prayer before they even get up out the bed. Like with me, I open my eyes and I feel in my dream, because I dream a lot, right? I say, oh my God, that dream was so insightful. I'm awake now. Spirit bless this day. And sometimes I feel uncomfortable. That dream was not so good. I wonder what that dream was saying. Excuse me. So, excuse me. Every single person has a different way of approaching their life experience. But mindfulness starts as soon as you open your eyes, before you even get out the bed. I'm awake now. Oh, that dream was so interesting. Okay, what I'm going to do today, thank you, Spirit, for today. I'm awake now. I'm ready for this day. You get up off your bed. Maybe some people sit on their bed and they pray before they even get out. They say a prayer. Whatever your routine is, living mindfully is about living in the now and making intentional choices within the now. You think about the past. Oh my God, I had an argument with my friend at the office, whatever. I have an argument, whatever. The past is the past. Let it go. Don't hold emotional prisoners each day. Imagine every single day if you're holding emotional prisoners. Monday morning, oh, it's now Saturday today. Okay, we have an argument today on Saturday with somebody. Tomorrow morning, you get up, you think about that person, you're so angry, you carry that emotion of negativity to the next day, Sunday, right? Then on Sunday, you have another confrontation with somebody, a disagreement, okay? Now, you're still holding that emotional feeling about what happened the day before within you. Every time you think about that person, you get angry. Each time you think about that situation, you get angry. And that same day, you have another argument with somebody. And then you hold that emotion, that disagreement. You go to sleep with it. You get up the next morning on Monday. Now you're carrying two people as emotional prisoners. You haven't let go. You haven't let go to understand that everybody is just doing their best with their level of awareness and understanding. You understand? A person cannot operate outside of the awareness. If a person is not aware about unity consciousness, if a person is not aware about forgiveness and love, they cannot live it. So you as a person, you call yourself a Christian, you call yourself as a follower of Christ. However, you're not following the depth teachings of that of Jesus. You understand? Forgiveness is key. It's a big part of the New Testament. You understand? And even in other religions, because you don't have to be Christian to be forgiving. You understand? Letting go and not holding emotional prisoners is very important. And sometimes it can linger. So I like to say to myself, Spirit, please allow me to let go of this feeling. I know that person is just operating from their level of awareness. It's okay to be angry, but you cannot have something that happened 2 weeks ago and you're still angry about what happened 2 weeks ago. That's a lot of emotional baggage that you're carrying with you, and it's affecting your psychology, it's affecting your mind, it's affecting your aura. And what's going to happen? You keep on attracting the same people that you, the same situations and type of people, different faces, but the same situation. You understand? That's why it's important to let go. Living mindfully is living in the now, not in the past. Living mindfully is about knowing what you put in your mouth as I'm closing my life now, right? Living mindfully is knowing what you put in your mouth. Living mindfully is about knowing yourself. What triggers you? What doesn't trigger you? That trigger you? What makes you scared? What makes you afraid? What makes you happy in life? Living mindfully is all about your health and your wellness, okay? So it's very linked to your health and your wellness, your mental and your physical health as well, guys. Right? As I said, for those that are new here to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I hope that we can be friends. You can comment and ask me questions. I'm also a life coach as well, right? So I've got a website, consultingsission.com. I coach people on how to handle different situations. You got a problem or you want to be more compassionate, you want to be more kind, you want to let go and practice forgiveness in your life. I can help you on how to do that, right? With different practices and stuff like that. So I'm also a coach as well. So you can get me on consultingsission.com, right? If you get to my website, you'll find everything about my website. You'll find me on TikTok, manifest_with_Sission. The reason why I call myself manifest, because life is about manifesting, it's about creating, and we are creators. Every single day, we are creating our own life experience and adding to the collective. Every single day, you're angry with other people, you're not forgiving, you're adding to the collective unforgiveness, the collective hate, because you're not letting go. So the change that we want is we need to have it within ourselves as well. You got to look within that mirror, as Michael Jackson said, and make that change. You understand? Look in the mirror to make that change. If you want change in the world, you have to change yourself, guys. It's not rocket science. Having compassion, understanding of and towards people, of people and towards people as well. It doesn't mean skin color or race or cultural group. It means nothing. Religion, it means nothing. We all spirits having a human experience. And one day when we go to the other side, we will look back at this experience and say, well, I did well. Oh my God, I should have done something better. You understand? I should have not held on to all that hate. I should have seen the different. I should have a more open heart. It's time for us to have open hearts to learn how to forgive and let go. And pray for people that are continuing to hurt other people. You choose not to hurt. Pray for other people to find their part, that Jesus can also touch them. You understand? That's how it works. As I said, my channel is not about religion. It's not religious by any means. I'm spiritual, but I'm also having a background in Christianity. And I understand that most of us as Christians are not living the true value of what we claim to follow. You understand? So anyway, guys, have a great Saturday and be kind to yourself and others, right? And if you want to know more about me, check all my videos to see the type of topics that I speak about, right? So thank you for those that just join my community. I really appreciate you, okay? So have a great Saturday further and see you all tomorrow. I'll be on a live again. I'll see you all next time, guys. Really big up highs. And don't forget to be kind to yourself and to be kind to people around you as well. Have a great Saturday, sweetie pies.